Anyway, it got me thinking about this. These two things got me thinking about this, and I wanted to talk to you guys because we've talked about every other subject when it involves basketball other than this. So my question to you guys is what do you guys think are the biggest differences in the game today from when you started watching or from when you became a fan?
Go ahead, Bruno.
Go ahead. I mean, like, if we're referring to, the big change from, back in the days and today,
I don't really just want to talk about 3-pointers and stuff like that because we all know it's different. But other than a 3-pointer, what do you think are the biggest differences? And then we'll talk about if we actually like the changes or not.
I mean, to tell you the truth, is like, athletes now are more athletic than back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they able, you're talking about spacing, actually being able to utilize. I'm gonna get to that, right? But I'm not gonna disrespect them to that level. But people often don't talk about the rule changes, right? Back in the days, things were spaced out. You couldn't touch. I mean, let me not say you couldn't touch, but you couldn't double team, right? Oftentimes people talk about, MJ was able to do this, do that, or whatever the case is, but they don't talk about the fact that there was no doubling. It was mostly one-on-one, and he's gonna cook everybody, right? Nowadays things change. The players are more athletic. So all of that, I mean, and the obvious, the shooting the threes, the bigs, not just the point guards and everybody shooting from half court, but now if you're big and you don't shoot three, you're kind of liability because they want you to be able to spread, the floor so that people could go in. So all of that played a big role to what we're seeing now. And it's funny that, we're so caught up into that and we forget that bigs or, others can have a big impact in the game, just like you were talking about, AJ.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. Well, think about this. The same people that are criticizing hardcore how the game is right now about, rule calls and all that. And then I know you won't talk about that, AJ, but these are the same people that don't like the new generation. Listen, man, I live and die for this new generation. I know they're going to be awesome. I know there's some work to do, but that's one of the reasons why I work with young people, because I truly believe that they're going to make a difference. Anyway, side note, I think one of the biggest differences is accessibility. Accessibility made it I think a much harder game. Yeah, they don't play defense as hard, but it takes more skills to play defense now.
But I think that goes along with the physicality part of it. Like back then, you could commit a hard foul and you don't get suspended for 10 games. Nowadays, it's like you can't foul on a fast break.
Exactly,
which I'm okay with, and that's also a safety reason.
That's why I think defenders nowadays would be pretty good. You see me? Because they
got a chance to hand check.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah. And not only that, they can keep up. The speed is much faster and they can actually keep up. Lateral speed. Have you noticed how much lateral speed is much higher now?
Yeah.
So
players are just that much better on offense, though. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then, again, the drills, the accessibility allowed everybody to level up.
Yeah.
And that's beautiful to watch. But at the same time, it places another stress on the game because everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
And like you kind of shine in high school, everybody knows about you, and now they study your game. So you got to keep evolving, constantly evolving. But back then, you don't see the tape till like 2 days later. So back you done play the game, you have no clue, but you just based on paper.
And you got to mail the tape.
But AJ, one of the things you ask us is, what do we think? I think people should just enjoy the game for what it is right now. Like we tend to do that a lot, man. Criticize what was versus what is. Bro, just enjoy it because we have a game to enjoy,
I agree with you.
Just enjoy it.
So like I said, I was actually thinking about this. I wrote a couple things down. I think there's three big differences right now, other than what you guys have really talked about. I think number one, basketball. I've been watching a lot of amateur basketball on YouTube as well, things like Ball is Life and a couple other content creators and stuff, and House of Highlights and things. I think one of the my third thing would be like highlights and fantasy. Like it's a highlight type of generation. If you're not making someone trip and fall, doesn't matter if you make the shot, as long as you get trip somebody, you're showing off the skills and stuff. Two, I think the trainers and athleticism, I think it's good and bad on both ends. As far as the trainers go, you're getting a lot of one-on-one work. You're learning how to do a crossover behind the back, through the legs, all in one motion, jab, step, hezzy, etc. But at the same time, and that's also making you more athletic because they're training you how to jump and stuff. And trust me, I am jealous that these kids have access to trainers like no other nowadays. Because back when I was around, you couldn't find a trainer unless they were looking for you. You couldn't get an AAU run unless they came calling for you. Nowadays, they have access to all that. But as far as that goes, though, it's teaching a lot of one-on-one basketball, and I'm missing a lot of the team aspect of that, like a lot of team practices and things.
So would you say it's more egocentric right now?
In a sense, but sometimes it has to be because of the way the offenses are run. Because once again, you're following what the coach is telling you.
But to me, that plays into other things, right? There's a lot of the things to why, players want to get better individually. Why? We're talking about endorsements and such. And right?
now in high school, you can get a deal too. So
that's exactly my point. So because of endorsements, you have to put yourself out there. You have to, publicize yourself. And not only you getting outside endorsements going on, but also teams. Now you become a high demand kind of a player, because you could put your highlights, your personal highlights of you practicing, not even high school, games or college games, is you literally showcasing your skills while you're training. That could just.
And if you go to, say, University of Kentucky and you have all that, flavor behind you, there's going to be people that are willing to put some money into the program just because you're going there, because they want to see you there. So exactly. my number one change is the team and trainers. And what I mean by this is, even though I mentioned it with the trainers and athleticism, is I'll give you kind of an idea of how I think when I play. So me and Ricky, we played a lot at the rec when we lived next to each other. We matter of fact, we would train in the morning and we'd go play at night. And one of the things about playing with the same guys over and over, and I'm using Ricky specifically, is when he's open for a shot and I have the ball, I know where to pass the ball on his body in order for him to get up the shot that he wants to get up, that he's most comfortable with. And it leads to more shots going in because he's getting the ball where he wants the ball. And then, of course, on something like a pick and roll, I know if he's popping, I know if he's rolling just by the way the defense is, and I can see what he's going to do. I know if he's going to cut. I know if he's going to do this. I know if he's going to do that. And that's the team aspect of playing. But when you're focused with a trainer all day, you don't get those team runs. You don't get those practices. And AAU, these kids are playing like hundreds of games in the summer, and there's no practice. And I'm not saying you need to learn how to do a chest pass, but you should learn what your teammates like to do. Which way do they like to cut? You don't even see backdoor cuts anymore, backdoor screens, nothing. And that's kind of disappointing to me, because I think if a team utilized that nowadays, especially high school, I think they could score out of the gym. But that's me personally. But those are my three biggest differences in the game I see.
And this makes me think of how people think, LeBron is so impressive, like, in terms of, knowing, his play, his teammates play, what the coaches are thinking, what the players, percentage from the corner, from top of the key, and this and that. These are all the things that he takes the time to study, right? Yep. Because,
he'll call it out on the court.
Exactly. But he was part of this, interesting, generation that he caught these, these borderline old schools, like, leaving, right? And, they were still old while he was, going up. And then he went through a whole generation of his peers and they left. And now he's with the next generation and everybody's like blown away that he's capable of doing that. But not only he works on his own skills, but he continues with the old habits of studying people's, habits or whatnot, which makes him
student of the game.
So exactly, it doesn't stop.
Good point, Bruno. Let me be the devil's advocate here. So does that mean that IQ went down in the game in general?
Personally, the new generation that's coming, I personally think so. But, I'm not saying that makes them be a bad player. It's just things are shifting. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's per se makes you a bad player. It just makes the game look different.
Yeah, they got
That's my take.
I don't think the IQs went down. I think things are just more complicated, and you have to think nowadays. You have to run a play to get open or do this. Back then you can kind of brute force it if something ran out, but now you have to know what defenses like to do and how players react to you. I think Brian Scalabrine said it best, even though he was a bench player. If you guys ever watched an interview with him, like within the past couple of years, he'll sit there and tell you he's closer to LeBron than you are to him. But he also says that despite being a bench player, he would sit there and use the speed ladder 10 minutes before the game because he had to work on his footwork and his quickness to keep up with players that he was guarding. But on top of it, if you don't, what everybody likes to do. And if you study it and know that, you can actually beat them to the spot before they start running or before they make that move. He's like, that's the only way you could survive in the NBA. Otherwise you would get blown away every time. So.
It sounds like me saying that, hey, I know what you're going to do. I know what you're gonna do, but will my body cooperate? I don't know. But I be knowing what people be doing.
But you have to be smart enough to compensate.
But your muscles have to that reaction speed got to be up there too. So it's age, training. I mean, you name it. So just like it reminds me of some of the things I used to do. But Bruno, why you?
No, I'm here waiting for you to throw a jab because I'm
not throwing a jab, man. I'm just saying some of the things I used to do, I can't do no more, and I respect that.
I'm happy with everything that's going on, man. Entertaining wise, we don't have a bunch of plumbers out there. You know what I'm saying? So it's good. It's good to see.
Did you just call him, bro? Come on, man.
Listen, man.
Come on, man.
Listen. Go back and watch those games, man. A bunch of stiff guys bouncing the ball around, okay? I don't care what nobody says. Bunch of plumbers, and good for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what did you want it to be in the 50s and 60s? It's
right. And they didn't pay it back then like they do right now.
The game's only 50 years old at that point. They just started dribbling a couple of years prior.
So. But it's the way they be talking, like, back in our days.
Yeah, but the new school does it too, though. They sit there and bash everybody for it. So the problem is people don't appreciate it. That's all. The game's in a great place. And if you think about it, when MJ was around, it was all about MJ. And now they're promoting LeBron and Giannis and Steph and even Draymond gets promoted out there. I mean, people still talk about Melo. You know what I mean? Like the game is so much wider now as far as who they can put out there, and it allows for younger players to see that. They can look at not only Kevin Durant, but they can be like, okay, I can play like him, but I can go run the court like Giannis at this point because I know I can do it. True. That's a hell of a thing to think about. Is you might have a combination of that at one point. So,
that's true. Let me ask you this:
that's right.
You mentioned Draymond Green. What is he known for?
His mouth,
defense,
punching Jordan Poole.
That's right. Hey, listen, man. You gotta respect them for him utilizing what he had. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have much going in his favor, but he was able to be lucky enough to be in a setting where he found his place.
Yeah.
Him is being loud and being humble. I mean, now he's cocky.
No different than Robin. Now. He just doesn't have colored hair.
True.
Yeah. And doesn't go to Vegas in the middle of the season.
I can't make fun of Draymond though, because he's done made it, man. We make jokes and all, but listen, respect to all these players who work hard and to get where they at right now. Listen, man, I can't make fun of them because they're on TV playing. I'm here at home. I'm not gonna be the one like clowning them for what they're doing now.
Dude has his own shoe. No. Like what could he be mad about?
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why AJ, I would say that those people who be hating, bro, just stop. Just look at your life and see what's going on. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything. What's causing you to be so bitter about today's game? It's not their play. I'll tell you that, because
Like-
some of these guys can ball.
Like I said, who wants to see 70 to 80? Like, yeah, I'm out here
Yeah.
watching athletes play. Like, I want to see points and I want to see rebound. I want to see somebody get dunked on. As long as it's good basketball, I want to see it. I don't want to sit there and watch a guy try to dribble like the Washington Generals are playing them and sitting there running circles around at the top of the court. Like, I want to see people play and be athletic and do their thing. And
Yeah, man.
so many players are unique in the way. Look at Kevin Durant. That guy's 7 foot. He's got a jump shot like no other. I mean, I know he just slipped and fell on a layup line, but I mean, look at the guy. He's phenomenal. Like,
He's tall, bro. But homie got, we've been saying that forever, man. He needs some milk.
Dude from Warriors just twisted his ankle
I
too.
just saw that one too.
Kaminga, that's his name, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did the same
kind
thing.
of
He
like
slipped and fell
same
and sprained
thing.
his ankle.
Oh wow.
But listen, for us, for them to be in that place with the opportunity to make a living out of something like that is really dope. But I think we could just wrap it up to say that players, they're under a lot of pressure. Honestly,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? They get paid a lot of money, but with that money comes responsibility from the team, from coach, from player teammates, family, and all. And sometimes just like that, injury comes and could take it all away. But
Or
I think
or a gun.
that too.
Responsibility. That's what you
but-
said. You mentioned the responsibilities.
Yeah, it's for real though. But I think we could all agree that things have changed in all aspects. But bottom line, this just comes with it. It comes with it. Evolution. We are not always gonna like it, but let's just appreciate what it is and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying?
I like it.
I don't know, man.
I like it.
Yeah, man.
So let me ask you this last question to wrap it up.
Let's close it out. Yeah. Go ahead.
Rapid fire. What is one thing you want to see in the game going forward? What is one thing you want to see that probably already happening, but you want to see more of, or you want to see grow in the game? And I'm just still talking because I know, Bruno, you got to take time to think.
Celtics got to win one more chip. That's all I want to see. Nothing else. I don't care. I want to see Tatum, Brown.
You're wearing a Lakers jersey, bro.
It doesn't matter. People know that I'm Celtics, okay? I'm just paying my respect.
I don't know
wanna
that. I see you with a Lakers jersey on.
I want to see Celtics, the Boston Celtics, winning one more chip. That's it.
Hey,
right.
Bruno, how many championships were you alive for, Boston?
For Boston, just, the last one. Oh, wait. That I followed, It doesn't matter. The only reason why you saw two is because, you saw three.
Three.
You saw three.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been the same as me. The only reason why is because Braun went and helped y'all out. Anyways,
and you couldn't get Braun, so you feel salty?
Anyways, AJ, go ahead. Carry on.
I wouldn't mind if they actually cut some of the games down, maybe like 5 or 10 games, so these guys can stay healthier and play more, so people can see them. I know that's kind of like an off-ball type thing to say, but there's a lot of people starting to complain about not going to a game and not seeing Braun because he's got a rest night or something like that. I think the NBA ought to really think about putting a bunch of days in between games now and maybe cutting the season down a little bit, especially with the play-in games and stuff. I think it would benefit a lot of people to be able to see a guy like Braun play, especially if you're a kid.
And you speak the truth, man. Look at Kawhi Leonard. I mean, this guy.
I don't know what to tell you about him, man. I don't know if he's hurt, not hurt. I don't know if he talks anymore, if he's a robot. It's just.
And then he comes at the end of the season and dominate. That's a funny thing.
Yeah, but he'll be hurt again in 2 games. So what's the difference? He'll be out for the year because his toe hurts or something. I don't know. Whatever.
It's unfortunate. That's the wishful thinking. I think NBA is getting so much money from television deals that they cannot afford. I mean, it's not that they cannot afford. They got, we just jumping into something else. We're not going to get into it. Like, the players are getting paid too much money, due to the fact that there's so much money coming in. Nobody's going to be okay with taking less money just to play less games. So
You're not giving them less money.
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. So that train has left already.
The Players Association wouldn't allow that to happen. So
Well, for me, you know
Exactly.
what I want to see?
Mhm.
I want to see these darn tickets go down. And of course, you
True
know
that.
that he went one more. I mean, let's go here. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to really say. But also, we need the tickets to go a little down, and not really down. But I want like raffles for
how much is
tickets.
a ticket for a game?
Listen, man, I just want to be closer where I can smell the players, bro.
Whoa, pause.
You know what? On that note, we're gonna wrap this up because Ricky's gonna get weird on us. And just like that, we about to put out another episode for y'all. I hope y'all enjoy. I hope we see you on the next one. Peace out.
Hey, ball is life, yo.
Here, since I didn't do anything last time,
That's right.
I'll do 3.
Oh my
There you
goodness.
go.
There's 3 of us.
We
Mellow.
we're done.
Buddy Mello, LA Fitness All-Star.
Man. And you know the funny thing is,